Assalamu alaikum everybody. Today I'm here to talk to you about finding the cheapest Umrah and Hajj. So, obviously those of you who are watching it are Muslims, and I have been on Umrah many times. Sadly I've never been on Hajj, and I think we all want to go on Umrah and we all want to go on Hajj. It's very, Hajj is, you must do it once in your life. A lot of people do it many times. People go on Umrah once a year, and it's a big financial drain. Umrah is very, it's very expensive. So obviously when you go on Umrah, when it comes to flights, it's normally transit. You either go through Frankfurt or Amsterdam or Paris or Istanbul or Doha or Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Riyadh. Now I've been through Istanbul, Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Riyadh before, but I've never been direct. And think about going direct is normally more expensive, and you can do it through only Saudi Arabian Airlines or British Airways. So when it comes to flights, the cheapest time of flying, and this is just in a broad generic term way, for all flights, even if you're going to New York from the UK, it's March, and this is the same for Umrah. And cheapest time is March, and also the cheapest time is also December. December and March are the cheapest time, and I would say the surrounding months as well. So December and March. Mid-March normally and mid-December. So we're talking about now from flying from the UK. And when you fly from the UK, the cheapest place to fly from is London. If you were to fly from London Heathrow, the cheapest it would be, you might find it 300, and that is fantastic if you find it 300 return. And it might be Air France or Turkish Airways. That is, if you find that. I found it once before, but I didn't go. I'd also say look out for deals that Saudi Arabian Airlines do. Now, I'm speaking to you from February 2017, but in September 2016, obviously the Saudi Arabian National Day is 26th of September 2016. Well, just 26th of December, and in 2016, because of that National Day, Saudi Arabian Airlines did a huge discount of 50% off all flights. 50% off all flights. So from Manchester to Jeddah was £280, and that is the cheapest I've ever seen it as a direct flight, and one of the cheapest I've ever seen it altogether, indirect or whatnot. So obviously the cheapest place to fly from is London. Not really Heathrow, although if you want to go from Heathrow, it might be Middle East Airlines is normally really cheap, £230 Middle East Airlines. So, and that goes through Beirut, so that's quite good as well. But cheapest is Stansted, and I know you're thinking Stansted's a bit far, but Stansted is Pegasus Airlines, a low-cost Turkish airline. Pegasus airline from Stansted stops off in Istanbul and then to Jeddah. And you can get that for £280, which is fantastically cheap, especially for Jeddah, for going to Mecca. It's absolutely fantastically cheap. So yeah, that's what you've got. And as I've said, it's normally the cheapest time of flying is March. Now on to hotels. Hotels are actually very cheap in Medina and Mecca. In Medina, you may have noticed, it's very small circle surrounding the Masjid al-Nabawi, the Prophet's mosque, of all the hotels. Dar al-Iman, the Hyatt Hotel, all the, just the surroundings. So they're all very close. But obviously, Mecca is much bigger and they're all more spread out. So normally, even in non-peak times, peak times are like Hajj and Ramadan, especially towards the end of Ramadan. Towards the end of Ramadan is very, very hard. It's very, very expensive, especially on Laylatul Qadr and the last Friday of Ramadan. Shoots up. It's rockets sky high. Okay, rockets up. And so but if in March and December, if you want to find even a close one, like Dar al Iman, a close good one, Dar al Iman is 5-star hotel, and you can find that for £60, which is absolutely fantastically cheap. And that's a family room, and it's for £60. So that's very good. Obviously, be careful though, because be careful with this, because to do Umrah in the UK, from the UK, the Saudi Arabian embassy from in London states that you have to do it from a credited agency. And be careful, because some of these agencies are not credited and they claim they are, and a lot of these agencies are out to get you. Even if they are credited, they're out to get you. They just want the money, so they do everything shabby. They won't give you the correct reference number for your hotel, and everything's shabby. So what I like to do is I like to get the visa. And visa, this is another thing with these agencies. They get the visa from they have to get the visa from the Saudi Arabian embassy. You can't do it by your own, and they put the charge on the visa. So some of them charge £150, some of them charge £100, some of them charge £70, £75. So I'd go for the one that's £70. So, yeah, and they're out to get you. So what I do, I normally just buy the visa from them, pay the £70, and then on my own book my flights and book my hotel. And then I've got the reference number and I've done everything, so it's okay. So I've got everything. So that's another thing. And then you've also got transportation in Saudi Arabia. So like transportation from the Jeddah airport to Mecca. So transportation from Jeddah airport to Mecca is, a lot of time there are people that live in Mecca, or people that live in Jeddah that are unemployed and they're looking for a quick way to make money, and the way they do it is they become a taxi driver, and they it's kind of like a carpool, and that's good for you, the consumer, because that means it's cheaper taxi, because it's not actually a proper taxi, it's just someone driving. A lot of them aren't proper taxis, it's just someone who's unemployed making some money. And yeah, so normally you'll find it for 150, if you're a group of 4, a small car will be 150 dirham, 150 riyal, so that's pretty good. That's like £30, so that's quite good. So from Jeddah to Mecca it's 150, or probably less. And then I also got from Mecca to Medina will cost you 300, 400 riyal. So which is quite good as well for a taxi, or you can catch a bus, which will be much cheaper. And then you've got Jeddah to Medina to Jeddah again will cost you maybe a bit more, may cost you 450, something like that. But still quite good. These are just people that are they're not actually proper taxi drivers, they're just people driving, so it's good for you, the consumer, so that's very good. So when you think about it, per person with the £70 MOFA visa, with £300 or £280 flights, and then per person, if you're staying for 7 days hotel, all-night hotel, it'll be like 140. So altogether, you've got around about £500, and then transportation. This is another thing. Transportation. This is the final word. Transportation. You can get transportation through a visa here, through an agency here, but I personally would not recommend it, because I've done it in the past, and then they have contacts there that are taxi drivers, and then the taxi driver takes his money and doesn't turn up, because then he doesn't need to pay the petrol to take you. Where other taxi drivers have been fantastic and taken us, but I would go there, and once I get to Jeddah airport, there are a load of taxi drivers there waiting for you. They'll all come up to you in a swarm, and you bargain with them. You know, you've got the upper hand, you've got leverage. You're the one with the leverage, so bargain with them. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Any questions, leave it in the comments down below, and give this a huge thumbs up and smash the like button. Thank you very much.